Welcome to the best thing since sliced bread, and welcome to PTV. I am your host with the most British like a roast, the P to the Y to the R to the O, representing PyDay Night SmackDown. He is my co-host from the West Coast, Johnny, representing Johnny Night Raw. Say hello, Johnny.
What is going on, everybody?
Oh my god, it was your first WrestleMania, and let's read these emails and talk about how good that WrestleMania was immediately.
So many things. Quickly read emails, because we have so much to talk about.
Mate, what a fucking heap of shit that WrestleMania was. Better get a take of both, just in case. Or keep them in for the bit and the lols. Triple H, what do you want?
What? Okay, you read emails, and I'm going to tell everybody about WrestleMania. Just
and
kidding.
You're
I'm going to tell you about why you're here and what's happening.
Hey, someone came up and Rhea Ripley can't be.
I got you. Don't you worry, but don't be stepping on my intros here. I got you. I'm covering for you. You be reading emails. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, we are playing the GM mode for 2K24, WWE 2K24 here. The idea is Pyro, who has been a wrestling fan for an incredibly long time, has seen many a WrestleMania in his day, is, as he mentioned before, in charge of SmackDown, and me, who has just recently seen his first WrestleMania.
And we're going to talk about that in a second.
So, how you doing on them emails? Because I try not to look.
I had to wait for you to finish your sentence because chat are getting what they want. Papa H, email. I noticed that Captain Grog's doing quite well on SmackDown. Would you like to give him a push? Here's a to the moon card to make him even mightier. Chat, you get in your wish. Shinny Nax. Yep, that is going straight to Captain Grog. That is just for chat. Shinny Nax, what's he want? Owens cheated me in last match. 1-3 match. Alright. And Tamina, hey boss, I was hoping to take some personal time. Yes, you can. You can have take all the time you need, Tamina. Don't need you. Might need you.
But you can't sell diddle cards.
No, you can't. But yeah, cool. That's the concept. Me, Wrestle Boy, long time. Johnny, Wrestle Boy, since me trick into liking wrestling. We do GM mode. Stuff happens. The landscape has changed dramatically because now all of the bloodline live on Raw, and I got a little bit more Judgment Day and Bobble Lashl's. We'll see how we get into that. But more importantly, let's fucking talk about WrestleMania.
Oh my god, let's go!
Using at least one specialist superstar increases the quality. Select a superstar to gain 15 grand. But they might get injured, or use at least one fighter in a match and increase its quality. Well, then, the one that's not going to fuck me in the ass. And I'm being diddled again. Veto champ applied. Oh, no mummy. So yeah, as our intro suggested, what a fucking WrestleMania week that was.
Pretty fucking great. Woo. I was explaining to my friend that WrestleMania is... not like, he's like, I heard it was 2 nights, that's a lot. And I was like, no, it's 4 nights. Because you got SmackDown, you got WrestleMania, and you got the Raw.
It's 5 nights if you count NXT.
Even more if you count NXT.
And that's just if you stop at WWE. This poor schmuck...
and that doesn't include other promotions.
This poor schmuck also had AEW Dynamite, AEW Rampage, AEW Collision, Ring of Honor Go Home Show, and Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, which I'll absolutely talk about in a bit. But they know why we're here. But give them a quick recap, and then Johnny, whilst I press buttons and you pay little attention, give us some of your thoughts on your first ever WrestleMania.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack in the first WrestleMania.
That's right. We've got 3 weeks of TV.
I explained this too while we were watching, or maybe right after we were watching, because we talked about it obviously right after it happened. The thing that I think I was most enamored by or surprised by is the amount of storytelling done in the matches. Yeah. Particularly with Cody and Roman. because the thing that is it sounds funny, but it surprised me the most is the thing that I like the most about wrestling, or at least WWE, is the storytelling. Yeah. And the fact that most of the time you cut promos to tell stories, which is great, and sometimes you do some storytelling in other ways, but the storytelling that was done specifically with Roman and Seth in the final match coming out in his Shield music and his Shield gear, so that in the final moments that Roman couldn't help himself but fulfill his need for vengeance towards his betrayal is the thing that cost him the match in the end, is maybe one of the coolest things. Like, talk about long-form storytelling. Like,
right?
That's so well done. And I appreciated every surprise character or wrestler that showed up. Mm-hmm. I was with you, and you have a different feeling overall about The Undertaker, and that's fine. But I was overall like, why is The Undertaker here?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it was like, he's not really doing anything else. I honestly, even if they could have gotten Steve Austin, I understand Steve Austin has a history with The Rock, but he hasn't been a part of the Cody story in any way either. So,
no,
like, at least with...
I managed to find the but. Undertaker is tied into Roman's story because Roman is the only person other than Brock to beat Taker at WrestleMania.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I get that. That works.
Carry on, as you were.
I was gonna say Cena works better, obviously, because he was so recently attacked by the Bloodline. Yeah. But if that's the case, then yeah, I kind of see how that sort of fits into place. Sorry, I'm grabbing a drink. Yeah, I dug it. It was a lot. There was so much going on there, and I appreciated so much about it. I like all this conversation about this new era that we're in with WWE. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good time. Man, it was a lot, and it was really good, and I dug it. I wish we could have had Daddy Rikishi be the guest referee on that first fight, but
sure.
Or the Jay and Jimmy fight, but I still dug that. I think that was something that could have been a little bit better, but I still really liked it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very excellent. So
Jimmy versus Jay in general.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that, because I know that was one that you were looking forward to above, like...
I was. Rest. Yeah, I feel like the fight itself, except for the part where Jimmy, like, kind of begs Jay to not hurt him, not super kick him again, I felt like we could have done more storytelling with the two of them.
Sure.
Because I feel like, yes, Jay got a win over Jimmy, and that's great. But I don't feel like we've really resolved or ended anything that we could have potentially resolved or ended.
Yeah, I think it got less time than I felt like it deserved. I thought that match would go on a lot longer than it did.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. And it was just a lot of super kicks. And that's great. I think super kicks are very important to them and their story.
Sure.
But I was just like, okay, yeah, like, it was good. But I think that they kind of missed an opportunity to give us a more satisfying resolution to that conflict. And maybe they'll continue to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. So, yeah, it was a lot. It was great.
Standout moments of the weekend?
I mean, I love seeing R-Truth rejoin the Judgment Day. I always love seeing R-Truth in the Judgment Day. I also love how even though The Miz pulled him away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I went to the future a little bit, didn't I?
I mean, it counts as part of the Mania week. That's fine.
It's part of the Mania week. Yeah, it's just the idea that like Miz pulled him aside, and the entire audience is like, "Yes, he is." Like he's a part of the Judgment Day. We don't care what story you guys are telling. We want him in the Judgment Day. Which I think is hilarious and not a thing. It doesn't need to be corrected in the "we want Cody" way.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can just continue to love the joke.
Goofy wrestling for life. That's some bad timing.
I got diddled.
He did.
Oh, okay. Organization applies. Okay.
So, what's Katana Chance want? Oh, Katana Chance, she wants money. You ain't got much of that. Timber! What's Timber after? Bate cheated me last week. I want a rematch in the next 2 weeks. Alrighty. And Jay Uso. I'm putting in a lot of work. I think I've earned a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. In the next 3 weeks, you'll absolutely get that. Alright, pick your shake up and let's, like I say, you had WrassleMania. It's quite a bit. I had a whole lot more, so I'm just going to rattle on about some of the stuff that's happened in the last week. Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor. That started off festivities for me. Blake Christian, they had a back and forth match with the guy formerly known as Black Taurus. Mariah May beat Momo. Carl Fletcher defended his TV title against Big Shotty Lee Johnston. The Undisputed Kingdom defended the Ring of Honor tag titles against the Infantry with a little bit of help from Wardlow. Billy Starks would go on to fulfill one of my first predictions and become the first Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Athena versus Shida. Athena retained after an incredibly competitive back and forth match. And that was probably the match of the night for Ring of Honor. And that's not to say that their main event was bad, but like the women's title match was just like that much tidier. But in your main event, it was Mark Briscoe versus Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor title. It was a heavy-handed, hard-fought battle by both of these Ring Warriors. Mark Briscoe would ultimately come out victorious after hitting the J Driller, which was his late brother's finisher, and he would win his first Ring of Honor World Championship 11 years to the day after his dearly departed brother won his first. So it was like a really nice imagery. The whole locker room, as the Briscoe family all came out to celebrate with Mark and his title win. It was a really nice moment for Ring of Honor. From there, I rolled into Go Home SmackDown, which we watched together. That opened with the KO show, and Kevin and Randy would talk about how much they hate Logan Paul. It end because you got involvement from Seth and Cody, and it end with the faces stood tall, which is a nice kind of like SmackDown show go home moment. But overuse of the too much shenanigans, let's not have a finish to our match. That would then take me towards NXT Stand and Deliver. They did actually have a match on the pre-show. Joe Gacy took on Shawn Spears to kick off the show. The main card, though, opened with the Wolf Dogs versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom. The champs did retain an excellent back-and-forth match against NXT Speedster and the living embodiment of the spirit of maths. When the Wolf Dogs hit a spear of days on Frazier and put him away. Next up is what I am calling my sleeper hit of the fucking weekend. If you haven't seen it, Johnny, I don't know if you took the time over the weekend, but I talked Plug-in Dave into watching this match. And anyone else is hearing my voice that hasn't seen this match, check out the North American title triple threat match at NXT Stand and Deliver between Josh Briggs, between Dijak, and between Obafemi. Obafemi is an absolute beast of a man who reminds me of like M'Baku from Black Panther, but like with the strength of Captain America. Here's a sentence that I never thought I'd write down. Briggs chokeslammed Dijak through Obafemi. So, you know, normally, like, you chokeslam someone through a table. You got Obafemi propped up in a chair, Briggs catches Dijak on the top rope and choke slams him from the top rope all the way out the ring, down through Obafemi in a chair on the outside. It was one of the most ridiculous spots I've seen. And then to show just how strong Obafemi is, you know the Tower of Doom spot they do where you have like a power bomb into a suplex, into a superplex, and you got like a stack of 3 men? Obafemi did that, except to put the punctuation on it, he carried everyone into the center of the ring before dropping 2 men he had held above him. Like, the man is a ridiculously strong big boy. The women's tag match, Team Chase U won. The women's title, Roxanne would beat Lyra Valkyria. Dragunov retained against Tony D. And in the main event, it was Trick v Mello, and Trick won. We'll get into WrestleMania in a bit, but for now, it's week 1 of SmackDown that I've been staring at for a bit. I have given chat's favourite, Captain Grog, a to-the-moon rocket boost to make him more popular, and in our opener, he's having an Extreme Rules match against Tozawa. If he can win, maybe he'll be a contender going into the pay-per-view. Let's find out, shall we? In 1, 2, 3. The Captain did it! Your new number 1 contender. Race to the stars of tomorrow. Captain Grog's taking on Akira Tozawa going into our PLE cycle. Dom made me some money, made me 11 grand, and he's 8 points less popular for it, but thanks, Dom. Trixie Gambit, I had to pay some attention to the man named Gambit after that episode. So this is his evil twin sister, apparently. I don't know. We'll make it up as we go along. She's fighting Michin. Will she win? Who knows? She does. Excusez-moi. That's how shocked I was. It was mediocre. Damian Priest gets me a nice 12k in the pocket. Alexa Bliss, she needed a match, so SmackDown has signed Guinness World Record winning Natalya to break more records and have more matches and exist. But not win. But have a rivalry. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Tiffy made me some money. No, she made herself more popular. Well done, Tiffy. And in the main event, I know their rivalry's meant to be dead, but Shinny Nax was like, yo, give me a rematch against Kevin Owens, and who am I to say no to Shinny Nax? So they get a one-on-one IC title match. Who will win? Shinny Nax is your new Intercontinental Champion in a 4-star amazing match. Alright, talk us through Raw, Johnny.
Over on Raw, I still need to do quite a few things to fix where I'm going with a lot of this, but we're going to open with an Extreme Rules between Tyler Bate and Timber. And Tyler Bate just continues on his okay, but begins this rivalry between Bate and Burr.
Okay.
Bate and Burr.
Bate and Burr.
Getting Jimmy on the mic, losing some popularity, but making me 14.5 grand. Thank you, sir.
Getting Jimmy
in the mid-card, Katana Chance and Io Sky. By Katana, in her last match, she loses and leaves me forever. Great! I love that I increased the rivalry for somebody that I don't have anymore. Making me 14 grand, Charlotte Flair, thank you. Starting, see now, I'm missing the delta here. LA Knight versus Roman Reigns, which is Bruiser versus Bruiser, which is not good.
No.
But it begins a rivalry.
I do know Roman Reigns has a change of Pokemon type promo that you can switch him to a fighter.
Yes. And then finally, Solo made some money. Finally, in the main event, we have a title match between Becky Lynch and Bayley.
I see quite a lot of advertising this week on Raw. Running theme. Trying to get those bucks up.
Yeah. I'm trying to make a little bit of money.
Got their mun, son. Alright, so good booking. Good, poor opening. So
poor opening. Yeah, those guys are not the openers.
2 matches. Okay. But we got some rivalries. I got one, and you got several.
3. Well, that yeah.
Oh no, 3. 1, 2,
3. Yeah, that one I can't.
Because this one doesn't count anymore because they know she's off. All right. Well, the drama cards are what they are. Let's see what the numbers say. No gold news, but we'll get into socials in a moment. I pick up 52,000 fans and $88,000 in profit, which is a nice little bit of money back in my pocket. Social media, anything useful? Blockbuster trade, Roman Reigns and Solo have gone to Raw. I was following Raw and SmackDown a few weeks ago, but SmackDown's what I'm watching right now. Hashtag SmackDown. Not sure the better superstar won tonight. See you again, Captain Grog. Oh, the rivalry between Akira and the Captain. It's boiling. It's boiling in the background. Let's see those numbers for Raw. So you got 36,000 fans, and you...
$107,000.
That is a lot of money.
That put me up.
You did, you could do it on the bank. No important notes, so we carry on, and I have earned my Mugham trophy, which gives me that I'll use at some point, I guess. Did you get any good goods?
I don't think so.
No good goods for you. So what does that do for overall numbers? 1.7 and 1.6. So there's about an 80k difference. And you are up about 25k on the budget. All right. So as we roll into TV week 2, let's get into WrestleMania. We got up to WrestleMania. Let's get into WrestleMania and our thoughts in a little more detail over these next couple of weeks. But first, Kevin Owens. Not happy losing my strap next week. God, you guys want to be done with each other, but you want to fight each other. All right, fight forever. Shinsuke, thanks for letting me fight Kevin last week. All right, okay. So, yeah.
You are welcome.
Let's get into and through WrestleMania in a bit more detail. Schedule a run-in on your most popular available star. Okay. There's WrestleMania Night 1. That opened with Mummy taking on Becky Lynch for the women's world title. I thought that was a solid opener. Also, Mummy gets played to the ring live by her favourite band.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool moment.
Which is a nice moment for her. But, talk to me.
Talk to you! Let me look at these matches again. Let me get this going. Let me see if I see how this looks all broken out. Let me see here. So, it just happened, and my brain is still like, what happened? Because a lot happened.
A lot did happen.
They're not in order again. Well, I'm going to read through these. Io versus Bayley. That, I think, ended the way we wanted it to, obviously. It was good. One thing I did notice, out of character to not have damage control shenanigans. Right?
Sure.
So, it makes sense, but it was out of character. Like, I understand during the day because we wanted shenanigans at the end, but I was like, oh, okay. Like, I wanted Bayley's mountain to be just that much more insurmountable with some chicanery, but as you said, Rhea versus Becky, it's really hard. Like, Rhea's just so over. She's just amazing. Like, it would be really tough to do that. So, Gunther versus Sammy. I like seeing Sammy take the Intercontinental. That was a good moment. I also really appreciated it on both cases, even though it didn't work so well for KO. Meeting up with one another in Gorilla before going out. I thought that was a really, really good moment. The six-pack ladder match, which is also, I think, had become one of my favorites because, R-Truth walked away with titles and also tagged in on a ladder match and got a pin on a ladder match. So he did all the things. Like, he succeeded in doing all of the things.
He succeeded in being the best R-Truth.
Grayson and Austin walked away with the SmackDown tag teams, whatever. Like, they're not going to hold on to them for very long. They're a silly, heelish, douchey, group of dudes there. Alright, Lara, you got something to say?
Just apparently she's bigger fans of Grayson Waller and ITM Down Under than you give her credit.
I think she is, yeah. She likes piss boots.
Who doesn't like piss boots? He's been taking up so much time on our PLEs with his unnecessary talk shows.
Oh, thank God we didn't have any of that at WrestleMania. WrestleMania had no shenanigans like that. Yeah, bless not having that. You know what I mean? The tag team between Rock and Roman was good. I liked it. It was fun.
Sure.
And it gave us our bloodline rules. And I also mentioned this to you while I was watching it. But when Roman was fighting Cody.
Yep.
I gotta say, I wanted Cody to win, and I'm happy he did. This isn't at all a slide against how it all went down, and I really appreciate how it's going. But mid-match, I was like, fuck it, I'm rooting for Roman. He's got better liners. I love that he took the Cody cutter, and then got up and was like, yeah, exactly, I knew that was a useless move. My favorite is when he's like, I'm going to send you to Hollywood with the others. Send you to Hollywood with the rest of them.
Yeah, that's
so good. So good. So, yeah, it was amazing times. I enjoyed it greatly. I had my first recognition yesterday. I went to lunch, and I was wearing my No Yeet shirt. I went to a restaurant, and the guy behind the bar was just looking at me, and he puts his finger up. And I was like, what? Like, I wasn't used to it. I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, yo, what's up? And I was like, oh shit. And I put my finger up. I was like, I acknowledge my tribal chief. Because nobody had done that to me yet before. It was just funny. I was just like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, wrestling fans, we're cool. That happens quite a lot.
Yeah, every once in a while. So, yeah, it was good times. It was very, very good times.
Okay. Well, that's a good place for me to kind of pick up whilst you figure out how to deal with that. No James.
Prevents a opposing brand. Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, Mania Night 1 kicked off with Mami retaining, and now she has to hold that belt forever. Let's get through your emails, and then I'll pick up on my thoughts. Great matches, but they want a variety of fights. Maximize your bonuses, put in different types of fights. Men and women, tag matches, triple threats, all of it.
Oh, yeah, that's the hardest part for me right now.
I'm not feeling 100% right now. Can I have 2 weeks off? Sure you can. Fallon Henley, I think you should put me in a match with EO. That sounds great. I'll get onto that in the next 3 weeks. And whilst you're thinking about how to do that, yeah, the six-pack ladder match, it was A-Town Down Under. Yeah, they kind of snatched their tag titles and then got out of there. Like, the match wasn't about that. That was just nice confirmation that, yes, we're finally splitting those belts back up. DIY paying homage to DX. I was all about it, from their attire to their Titantron to doing some of the classic spots. Like, I called that super kick into a pedigree, and it was beautiful to see. R-Truth, claiming the Raw set to have his first ever WrestleMania moment, making Awesome Truth the new Raw tag champs, and then fast forwarding to Raw after, when he celebrated with Mummy and Damien. Real good visual moment there. We had Rey and Andrade versus Dom and Santos. Now, the match was like a love letter to Lucha Libre and telenovelas. His double stacked crossbody was awesome when he had that moment mid-match. And everyone was having a scrap, and it was all glorious until football ruined my wrestling. And I still don't understand why. I don't get what the connection was. I don't. It could have been anyone else. But they injected football into my wrestling, and I've forgiven some other things I got bent out of shape about over the weekend, but that one can go fuck itself. Like, two nobody jabronis from an American football team just interfered and helped Rey Mysterio, the babyface, cheat to win. And apparently Andrade's just collecting Hall of Fame daddies, because now he's got Rey Mysterio and Ric Flair who love him. Boo to that. But that took us into brother versus brother in the city of brotherly love, the Usos. Jay made his entrance with Lil Wayne, who was announced as the greatest rapper of all time. And out of spite, I decided to back Jimmy the whole night. And you and I had some tremendous fun with Yeet and No Yeets until we ran out of gifts. But,
you ran out of gifts.
Till Jimothy ran out of gifts. Ain't my fault Jimmy ain't got gifts. Jimmy, get your gift game up. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't even the greatest rapper in that arena over the course of WrestleMania, let alone the greatest rapper of all time. Boo to that. 6-women tag match. Damage Control then took on Team Belair. It was good back and forth. Seeing Naomi open, then Bianca becomes the face in peril, and then Jade just cleans up. You get your trio of finishers where all the good guys get to do their big moves to end it. It was a nice kind of paint by numbers. Let's give these women their moment in the middle of the card match. Sami Zayn versus Gunther was hard hitting. Gunther absolutely obliterated Sami to begin with. He taunted his wife. The Ultimate Underdog, though, was able to spark out, rev up, and make an ultimate comeback, delivering a pair of haluva kicks after the top rope Banebuster, which is like throwing back to his El Generico Ring of Honor days. And he pinned the Ring General 1, 2, 3 to pick up the win to become your new IC champ, ending Gunther's 666-day reign as the longest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And then Saturday's main event, it was Rollins, Rhodes, Rock, and Roman. All the R's. Seth came out looking like the remains of a box of Quality Streets. Interesting choice of costumes. The Rock entrance continues to evolve, and get more badass every week. And this match went everywhere, literally. The Rock abused his power to intimidate the ref, and he was like, if you count us out, I'm going to fucking fire you. They fought into the crowd, which was very old school and reminiscent of the Attitude Era. Seth saved Cody from a spear, and then Roman ended up spearing the Rock by accident. You got the double pedigree moment that I called about 6 weeks ago, which was beautiful to see executed. Cody rock bottomed Dwayne through the Spanish announce table. Seth will have himself a poorly knee heading into Sunday. Yeah, his knee got done over, and I don't think that was even like, I'm going to play the limb. I think by the end of Sunday, Seth was definitely beaten up. And then the Bloodline won to end night one, with The Rock hitting a rock bottom and the people's elbow on Cody. So my predictions for that match got flipped upside down, because I was convinced that the good guys were going to win and that Cody wasn't.
What the fuck is...
And going on at the same time as WrestleMania Night 1, you had Collision. Now, normally AEW wouldn't try to counter-book against WWE, but Collision is their Saturday night weekly show, and it's WWE that's decided they're going to start putting PLEs on Saturday instead of Sunday. So that was what it was. But normally when these clashes do happen, AEW comes out of the fucking bag. And you'd think, especially with it being WrestleMania weekend, like AEW were going to put on a banger. They instead kind of went the other way, and it just felt like just a show, and they weren't even really trying. You're going to set up Bucks versus FTR 4 for the titles. Pac beat a jobber. Lionhook and Shane Taylor Promotions had a scrap. Lionhook won that, but then Anthony Ogogo returned to the company and beat up everybody. The House of Black had a trios match against the Bounty Hunter, Daniels and Seidel. House of Black won that. Yeah, not what I expected. It's just, it felt a little lackluster from AEW, but I guess they knew what they were up against, so they're like, I don't know why overdo it, but it just felt like an under-delivery. Yeah, because the other matches were Claudio versus The Butcher that really went nowhere, and Penta versus Commander because reasons. Anywho, we'll get into Mania Night 2 in a moment or so, but first, this week's PyDay Night SmackDown is opening with Cody versus the Captain in a tables match.
I was like, are we going to try that one?
And the Captain wins!
Oh my god, the Captain wins!
The Captain is becoming unstoppable. Chat's favourite is rising meteorically. Damian Priest, 11 grand in my pocket. He could be a future champ. Can Trixie Gambit continue her run of good luck against the newly signed Zoe Stark? Nope, Zoe Stark wins her debut match, but it was dull. Shinsuke called out KO because they need to rest, but they want to keep on their rivalry because emails tell me to keep doing it, so I got that in there. Dom needed a match, so I put him against Big Josh Briggs, who, again, excellent showing at Stand and Deliver. And Dirty Dom, again, secret sleeper in my ranks here, picking up wins left, right, and centre, and now has a rivalry with the Giant. Miss Bliss gets me some muns, and in the main event, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to rest Mummy, but I kind of needed the thing that came with it, so I risk Mummy's longevity in our main event against Natalya. Can she overcome the odds? Yes, she can. Can she avoid an injury? Yes, she can. All right, rest now, Mummy. I don't care what Papa H says.
I'm in the danger zone here too with some really low stamina. So in my opener on Johnny Night Raw, we have a tag team match. So I'm trying to read between what they're asking for. And Io and Bayley win the tag team match, starting
a tag
rivalry there that I like it. This is a call out because this is actually just a reminder for me to get the what Henley wants. She wants to take on Io.
Okay.
R-Truth and Solo Sikoa, Bruiser versus Fighter. My belts are all over the place. I'm realizing that they're like
your belts are everywhere. Your stamina's on the low side.
Yeah, I don't have enough people. That's the problem that I'm trying to work with. And to that end, I've hired Angela Garza to help fill in some of that roster, and he's going to take on LA Knight. He already starts with a pretty low. Mediocre, okay, that's alright. I know he's not there to give me money, but hopefully he gave me a little bit of money. And I switched my main event because last time they said this was a poor opener for the title. Tim Burr, Tyler Bate.
Your healthiest men.
My somewhat healthiest men, yes. Tyler retains, and the rivalry grows.
Alright, so what does that do for us? So it gets me good booking, it gets you also good booking. So right decisions were made. The Catton growing his rivalry with Cody. That's all looking good. You got some 2 stars, 1 stars there. But what, my friend, do the numbers say? Nothing gold. Meet you in a chat Rhea Ripley during that match. What a load of bollocks. 30,000 fans for me.
$102K, that's pretty good.
$1,000.
That's not bad.
That is definitely going to help SmackDown as we roll towards that next PLE. Oh, Dirty Dom, such an easy win against Josh Briggs today. Barely even a fight on SmackDown. All right, well, if you've got stamina next week, Dom, maybe you're going to ranch that up a bit. Let's see what the numbers say on Monday Night Raw, Johnny Night Raw. You got some gold news.
Bayley and Io work really well together. Yeah, well, no kidding. Man, 104K, 44,000 fans. And Bayley and Io are a good tag team match.
I got a pre-match video, which will help me keep my people healthy. You got a super diddle card.
Block an opposing brand from booking their current most popular superstar in next week's show.
Can't be used the week before a PLE or on the final week, but you can use it any other week.
Yeah, alright.
But for the numbers, as we go into our third week of TV, 1.74, 1.67, and only less than 10 grand between us in the budgets now.
Yeah.
So the gaps, they do be a closing as we get closer to our next pay-per-view, which is apparently Fast Lane. Papa Priest, what do you want, my boy? The show's been going great, Pyro, but I think it's time we had a bigger venue. I don't mean to tell you what to do, but could you spend your money on like a larger venue and go against
That's almost all of your money, but yes, whatever you want.
You're upset and you wanna spend all of my budget. I didn't bring you over for Raw as my new wise man, Damien. I'm gonna make you a little bit upset. Mummy, please don't be upset with me, Mummy. At least you should attack me. Yes, anything in the next 3 weeks, but just rest until the PLE, Mummy. That's all I ask of you. All right. So I've taken us up to Mania Night 2. Papa H wants me to ensure that your least popular bruiser's in a match this week. I'll work that out. Talk me through Mania Night 2 and bits of Raw. And
talk you through Mania Night 2 and bits of Raw. Well, Mania Night 2 was the thing. It was it. It was everything, right? Like, we've changed entirely a paradigm shift in all things in WWE moving forward. Cody Rhodes is now the Universal Undisputed. Universal Undisputed Champion. We've got Damian Priest being the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. So those changes apply, obviously, very immediately to that Raw on Monday, where, as I mentioned before, we saw the Judgment Day come out. They came out with all their gold, lost 2, gained 2. Is that right? No, retained 1. Never mind. They came out, loved it. The promo with The Rock and Cody was part awkward, part awesome. But back to awkward. So, the idea that The Rock came out and wanted to hold the belt.
Oh yeah, Rock wants to hold people's belts.
I believe is a callback, but it just didn't, like, it felt really awkward, like, to me. It was just a weird conversation to have. Like, The Rock was just being a dick, slapping people, fucking threatening people's mothers and shit. I mean, he didn't actively threaten Mama Rhodes, but, you know, he was being a jerk. And then he comes out like, I just want to hold your title, bro. Like, I'm sorry, the what now? It was very bizarre. It was a strange sort of turn of events there, and I wasn't really sure how to sort of sort it all out. But you know, it was oh look, what's the things that happened that I shouldn't be paying attention to? Yeah, it was bizarre. It was a bizarre little to do, as it were. I don't know. And then he gave him something, and I guess the theories on what he gave him are
the Rolex.
Kind of, the Rolex is one of them, but we already kind of know that that's. I mean, it could be a part of the kayfabe, but they've already explained that's been given to him. Another theory was that it was a lighter, and they're gonna try to fold in the story about Cody's bus catching on fire.
Oh, the Rock set his bus on fire?
That's one of the theories.
Sure.
And then the last theory is that it's a ring, a Hall of Fame ring. His dad's Hall of Fame ring. That apparently he also pawned for whatever reason. So...
Sure.
I don't know. I like the lighter the most, if I'm being honest.
Uh-huh.
But I knew the way they did it, that it doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything, and we'll fold it in later. Like, let's not spend too much time speculating, because it could change easily, based on whatever else happens throughout the, throughout the week or throughout the shows. I'm mostly interested to see, SmackDown. I want to hear from Roman. I want to hear from my tribal chief. I think it's important that I hear from my tribal chief.
I don't know if we're gonna hear from the tribal chief. Is possibly the thing I find most interesting.
That's a fair point. We might not actually hear from him. That would be interesting. But I don't know.
We're gonna hear more from Cody and
yes,
someone else,
for sure.
And I'll get into that in a moment once I double check that I've done everything I want to do, and then. If I have done everything I want to do, I will confirm this booking.
Did you do all the things?
I think I did all the things.
I think I see you did one of the things. One of the things I was thinking of doing.
Let's get through these emails though first, before you get into things that you were thinking of. Lark Nigget has things to say. Let me talk to you. Hey Johnny, what time the Raw's coming to an end? Give us money. Well, you got lots of options. Your strongest offer is, how about less money? He's not happy with less money. Timber! Hey Johnny, my contract with Raw is coming up to an end. Give us money. How about 11 grand? How about...
What is the season versus...
So the end of the season will take you all the way to week 25.
Oh, okay.
So all the way to WrassleMania.
My bad.
Best superstar around. Let you know, I'm pretty important to Raw, aren't I? The fans can tell. Jimothy's hinting at wanting a bonus.
Sorry, buddy. Gotta keep the show going.
No bonus yeets for Jimothy, which makes him majorly upset. So yeah, WrestleMania Night 2. I think when we get to SmackDown after I get into what happened at Mania Night 2, I think we're setting up for like the next level of things to come. Because we've had like I've been so torn about Sunday, and like I watched it the second time Monday morning, and I was still exhausted. And this is the first time in forever that I've sat down and watched WrestleMania 3 times in a week. So that kind of speaks to just how fucking good Night 2 was. Because, you know, quite often I say, oh, I love this guy and I love this guy, so whoever wins, wins. And that was true, except it wasn't. And I found myself way more shook and, like, taken aback by the result of that main event than I thought I'd be, because I love Cody and I love Roman. I mean, like, the two things you'll hear me talking about most when we talk about wrestling are Bullet Club and by extension AEW and the Bloodline. So I was like, yeah, sure, whoever wins, wins. But I've been a Roman guy since he started his run, like, in FCW, came up as the Shield, even, like, through the awkward period when he was being shoved down our throats and the fans turned on him. Like, when everyone else was going, oh, no, Roman's shit. I was like, no. Roman's not shit. Roman's very good at what he does, and he's putting on excellent matches. The problem is, what he's been given to do isn't very good. So to then have that vindication of him going away, becoming the tribal chief, going on this 3.5-year run that has been, like, unparalleled in my lifetime. And, like, to be so certain he was going to go into the summer holding that belt to, like, finally wipe the foul taste of Hogan out of my mouth. It was bittersweet for me. And I was taken aback. And, you know, like, every decade or so, like, I have, like, these light bulb moments where I'm like, yo, this is my guy. These are the ones to watch. Like, in the early to mid-90s, it was 1-2-3 Kid who would later become X-Pac and Macho Man Randy Savage. In the late 90s into the early 2000s, it was Jeff Hardy, it was Rob Van Dam, and it was the phenomenal AJ Styles. And in the 2010s, it was a little trio named The Shield, and it was a little faction that would go on to become bigger in the industry in Bullet Club, and I was like, yo, this is the shit. And now we get into the 2020s, and I'm like, I'm looking at your Adam Coles, I'm looking at your Orange Cassidys, your Lee Moriartys, and your Jades to be like the next ones to carry the thing forward. We've been sowing the seeds for this weekend for a while when I look back at it, because, you know, starting with the advertising campaign for this very game, 2K24, that we're playing right now, and that Johnny's working out, booking his show on, and it now feels like a good time to say, if you're appreciating what we're doing on GM mode, up the thumb and sub the bell and hit that bendy share arrow button. You know, they were like, oh, finish a story. I was like, oh shit, the hints are there. Maybe he's going to finish the story at WrestleMania. No, he won't do it. Then you get to the opening of Mania Night 1 and you get that new then, now, forever together with HBK, with Triple H, with The Undertaker and The Rock doing the 4 words. I was like, oh shit, we're on to the start of a new era here. Like, maybe they're going to kick things off, and we know the Netflix deal is coming. And then at the start of Night 2, when Stephanie turned up, and she was back in the fold, and she's the last McMahon standing, like, back alongside Triple H, and like, yo, is this the creative team that we're getting going into this new era? And they're leaning heavy on the new era, the new Triple H era, the Paul Levesque era. It starts right now, and, like, the clues were there, and then the entrance on that main event, and it was like day 1316, and I'm just like, I even said it to you during the entrance. I was half kidding at the time. I was like, oh shit, day 316, the glass is going to shatter later, they're going to pull the trigger on this, Roman might actually lose tonight. And it makes all the sense in the world to do it, like with the start of the new era and how to market and promote it. But it took a lot for me to go against what I wanted and what I was certain was going to happen into like, okay, this is what we've done and this is why. And I had to watch that main event a third time, take my expectations, take my wants out of it, and just watch it without those expectations, and to watch it as it was intended and as they presented it, for it to click and be like, oh no, I get it. This is like Dwayne does Marvel in DC in WWE. Like, this is WWE's endgame. Like, all right, let's fucking go. Because before we even got to that main event, you had what is easily the best opening to any night of WrestleMania, with Seth versus Drew McIntyre. It was a great match. Seth was playing, but maybe not playing, sell the limb, and he does that really well, but I think he might have actually fucked up his leg. But Drew picked up the win after a great finisher, back and forth ping pong between stomps and claymores. And Drew got what he wanted after months of campaigning about getting cheated out of winning the title, out of being cheated by COVID the first time when he won the title in front of nobody. He got his wish, he got his prayers, he got to win the World Heavyweight Championship on the main stage at WrestleMania. But he wasn't specific enough with that monkey's paw wish show, because he didn't wish how long he'd hold that belt for. Because within 5 minutes, his boots got too big for his britches. He told CM Punk to suck it, and Punky Phil would punk that boy out, sweep his leg, beat the schliz out of him with that fucking arm brace, and then in came Damo, and he cashed in that Money in the Bank that, again, like, he's had for nearly 300 days. And he would hit the South of Heaven chokeslam, and he would pin Drew McIntyre in the center of the ring after 5.5 minutes to become your new World Heavyweight Champion. And that was the first time, right, as well, where you heard Samantha Irvine, like, really lose her shit on the commentary, which is just a testament to how good she is and how invested she is in the work she does. Like, the excitement and the elation and the emotion in her voice when she announced that Damien was cashing in his Money in the Bank. That girl can do no wrong. Best opening to any Mania of my lifetime. I don't think we're going to top that anytime soon. And the perfect palate cleanser after that was your Philly Street fight. It was your big, dumb, 6-man tag match. Snoop Dogg on commentary. Bubba Ray, special guest referee. You get the what's up through the tables. The tables broke. One from the heavens, 1, 2, 3. And, you know, like, the pacing of that night was awesome. 5 minutes left. Better simulate this match for PyDay Night SmackDown.
Better do it.
We'll get into the rest of what happened in a sec. Zoe Starks taking on Cora Jade. Tables match. It's a good match and makes a rivalry. I need money. Kevin Owens gets me money. Because I've spent quite a lot of money to get something for the PLE. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But Tiffany Stratton's taking on Tamina. Is it any good? Tamina lost, so Tiffany's not going to be happy. But it starts a rivalry, and it's okay, so it doesn't outperform. Dom was originally going to call out Briggs to grow that rivalry, but I needed money, so 10 grand. He stole it for me from the local convenience store. Damian Priest, he's going one-on-one with Cody Rhodes. The Catton is going to be running in and interfering. Can Cody overcome the Catton? He does! It's okay, and it doesn't grow the rivalry, which is mildly disappointing. Shinny Nax, he's like, yeah, we're carrying on this IC title thing forever. And in the main event, I don't know how the Women's Championship's even available to be put on the line, but it was. So I stuck it on the line. Trixie Gambit, Natalya, Miss Bliss is going to interfere. What's going to happen? Nobody knows. Will I build a future tomorrow? I do. Trixie Gambit. Remember it. Put that... 2 stars. Don't remember it that hard.
Yeah, nobody's going to remember that one.
It's another one of Natty's records. Most mediocre title match in SmackDown history. Talk us through Johnny Nitro.
Over on Johnny right now, a lot of trying to manage some stamina and money. We got some new faces, though. So, Sassy Malassie versus Fallon Henley.
She's
This is very disappointing. That's not good. Give me some promo, give me some money. In the mid-card, Roman Reigns versus Lockenigget. We got 3 minutes. We're going to get through this in a quickness. LA Knight does it, growing the rivalry between him and Roman Reigns. Thanks for the money, Jimmy. Putting you on rest so you can just chill. Mr. Higglesby makes his bruiser appearance against Angela Garza.
I see why he signed him, though. All the stamina in the world.
Yeah, he's good. Disappointing though. And finally, in the main event, we have a tag team. That's a setup. Again, a lot of this, and I tried my best to try to get some of those staminas back up. It's really hard and confusing. This is maybe one of the worst Raws ever.
Well, let's see what the drama curve has to say about that. I had a poor finale, so clearly Cody should have gone where Gambit went.
I probably had a really poor opener.
You had a poor opener, so the Tribal Chief should have gone where Sassy Malassie went.
Sure.
Let's get into the numbers. I got a modest 33,000 fans and made a comfortable $121,000 in profit. And that's after buying the 4th tier advertising thing so that come the PLE, I can finally run a special guest referee match. Oh, yes. You, my good friend, have a lot of zeros in that bracket. You got 25,000 pounds, $78,000.
Nothing learned.
Super news. I got a heavy diddle card. You have a health spa, which is going to help with that stamina. So.
Also, one of the things I was trying to make sure I got.
Looking at that budget, the budget. You've gone north of my budget. The fans, 75k between us. It's getting real. AJ Styles lost to LA Knight, even with shiny new entrance music. Logan Paul retained his US title. It was an alright match. We talked about Io and Bayley. We've talked about the Bloodline and main event. Yeah, some of the lines in that main event. I'm going to send you the Hollywood with the rest of them. Top-notch stuff. We talked on why The Undertaker and not Stone Cold. Well, or possibly why The Undertaker fits, although Stone Cold would have been better.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanna touch on?
No, I think that covers on all the stuff. There's a lot.
As far as PyDay Night SmackDown is concerned, we will be back in June. I will be back this coming Tuesday for part 2 of South Park Snow Day. That was supposed to happen this week, but I was wiped out from WrestleMania week, so I needed to push that episode back a week. And then after that, we will be back on the 30th of April for a Sea of Thieves launch day special. It's Pyros of the Caribbean. There's Pyro and Pals, play as pirates. And that should be a lot of plundering fun.
You're popping a lot of peas on that one.
There is. And after that, we will be taking a break through May until we come back in June with PTV 400. A lot of stuff to go into that. A lot of work to do over the course of May to get us ready for that. If you haven't done so already, up that thumb, sub that bell, and super kick the shiz out of that share button.
I say RKO it. I say RKO. Stunner into an RKO that share button. Yep.
Give it a trio of crossroads through the Spanish announce table, because that's the best button you can press as a pyromaniac. We're marching through the low hundreds, and I want to continue to see this community to grow as we fill the 4,500, because when we hit that 500 mark, some really cool stuff's going to become available to us. Anything else to say, mention, or plug, Johnny?
Guys, I just finished my first WrestleMania, and it was amazing. It was amazing!
Welcome. And when we return in June, we will be back on the build-up to Clash in the Castle in Glasgow? Will Drew McIntyre get to win a title in front of his actual hometown country this time, in the right country? Who knows? Join us back on PyDay Night SmackDown when I continue to represent PyDay Night SmackDown and Johnny continues to book Johnny Night Raw. Until then, love you all, and there's not a gosh darn thing you can do about it. But for right now, Pie is out. So peace out and lights out.